Right, hello. I should be recording now. And I do have another blog to do after this. I've got two things I want to talk about, but the first one is what I'm doing now. And basically it's all about the world of cooking, baking and things like that, because having looked at my YouTube videos, I found that I haven't really talked much about cooking. I've done a cooking video, but I haven't really explained about things like that, and something I thought, oh, this would be interesting because it was something that maybe might concern a lot of people out there who do like cooking and that. And I think what's happened is this country has gone baking mad. There's not so much a cooking element, because cooking isn't always about baking. Cooking element is almost in the way of whether you're cooking something or finding something to do that doesn't involve much cooking. Baking is a much more technical thing, I think, and I love to bake. I absolutely love the idea, but I'm not very good at it. I generally do sometimes cheat because certain things I can't actually do. I mean, when it comes to pastry, like, you know, there's all kinds of pastry. I basically make pastry in the same way that I make dumplings. But the difference is, I change the flour. So if I was to make, say, a dumpling mix, it would be basically self-raising flour, lard and butter or margarine. I put a bit of water in there to bind it together. I make it into a bit of a gooey kind of consistency, and then it goes basically into whatever I'm putting it into. Usually it's potatoes and gravy and carrots and things like that. But if I make a pastry, then normally it would be with plain flour instead of self-raising. And I can tell you that my pastry, when I make it, it turns out, sorry about that, I'm a bit, just had a drink and I'm a bit, you know, it turns out alright. But it's always short crust. I can't make puff pastry to save my life, so usually I buy that because it's something that's quick, easy, simple to buy. I just don't. I've watched a video by a famous chef on the BBC website. There was one a while back, and it was by Lesley Waters, a celebrity chef. It was great at what she does, and she was showing us how to make puff pastry. But I still find it tough for me to watch it, or basically take the information that I got off the internet from that site and do it, because I get a bit stuck. And even if I think I'm doing it right, I always wonder that when I put it in the oven and it comes out, I'm not going to get it to be the puff pastry consistency that I would get if I was buying it, like, you know, in a pre-bought. Of course, when you buy it pre-bought, if you, depending on the layering, I mean, literally, if I roll it out, and I roll it out quite thinly, it may not be the real, like, you know, but I buy a block. So if I was to buy a block like that, right, I can sort of, I could buy that and cook it. Not that I'm going to cook it whole like that, but I could do it into squares, as if you're making square sausage rolls, but it would just be basically, you put pastry, cook it, and it would really be that consistency of the puff pastry. It's nice with the gravy. But I generally normally would cut it in half and then roll it out a little bit so I can make a base to go for a pie. When I make a pie, I put mince in it basically, so I make a minced beef, an onion pie, and I use that. So, but yeah, bacon has gone through the roof over the last few years. It's been massive in this country, really, and I think we're a good nation of home baking. I think we've always been like that. I think when it comes to making cakes and biscuits and bread and all that kind of thing, because we've really done that. And things like Cornish pasties, sausage rolls, pies, pasties, all kinds of things like that, they really have become a staple of what our country is. It was great because our country does that. It's great that we can have this traditional level of food, and I don't think you can really get that always in some countries, because they don't see the traditional food as a way off. A lot of countries would say that British food is bland. They say that we've got nothing to it. There's no, you're not getting the cuisine as you would do in France or Italy. You're not getting that, the Thai food. You're not getting the Japanese thing. They may well give you a dish which only has a little bit on it. We're giving you comfort food. We really do give you the traditional food. A good home cooked food comes from this country, I think, and it really is brilliant. I'd rather sit down, right, and eat, say, a pie that I've made with some mashed potatoes and maybe some carrots or something and a bit of gravy. Then I would do it if somebody was going to offer me, say, a spaghetti bolognese or some curry or something like that. I'm like, oh, no. I don't want this rubbish. I want this good home, great British food, and I think that's what we do. So, baking's great, and if I could learn a bit more, I would. And it's great for me to think about it. What I did, I made a cake once, and I never put any sugar in it. I mean, I can't remember what the ingredients were, but I know I put. Oh, I've got a text. Anyway, I'll read it in a minute. But yeah, I put basically all I remember was something like flour, butter. I think it was chocolate, and I can't remember what it was. I think it might have had whatever I put in it basically had no sugar. But luckily it turned out as good as I can give it. Even though it didn't have no sugar in it, it was just not a sweetened cake. But there you go. Lessons to be learned that next time I know that I can put sugar in it and follow a recipe. But I did look on the internet, and that's what basically I did. I found a recipe that had no sugar in the cake mix. So I thought, well, there you go. If I'm doing that, I can follow the recipe. I didn't really follow it exactly. I just thought it's got no sugar in that recipe, and I can do that. Anyway, that's my first blog for now, just talking a little bit about the cooking element, and basically it's gone over the roof and it's really been great. And I like doing cooking, I like baking a little bit if I can follow the recipe and do that, and some things that I basically like. So enjoy, and keep subscribing and watching my videos. I'll have a few more coming up soon. And also mention we'll go out to Crystal out there and so on, and various other people. So bye for now.